Starting to the bottom left, the Protoss player for LJM. He lost to Rain earlier. He has to take this win now if he wants to force a second tiebreaker. It is.
New challenger. LGIM first.
First is up against the Zerg that just defeated Rain in such an incredible game. To the bottom right of Newkirk, we have.
New challenger. STXO hyvaa.
hyvaa got some new fans.
Well, after that game, I definitely think it did. Everyone in the studio, I want to go home. Win it.
Well, there's a way to watch on the subway. If you use the Twitch TV app on your Android phone or on your iPhone, you can actually watch on the subway if you want to go home. But I recommend staying for those of you in the crowd.
There comes the Probe Scout. First is going apparently for a very standard build. The Parlan at the front already towards the second ramp, trying to go for the Forge build here.
Yeah. And everything is just kind of calmed down at this point. We have to start from scratch again in this final
I didn't.
Game. I'm just telling myself this. This is actually me not talking to the audience. This is me talking to myself.
You're lying to yourself now, Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Well,
there's
comes the pool
first, just to be safe. And we're going to have identical openings. Pool first versus Nexus first. As first, now seeing the pool first knows that if he went for a Forge, he wouldn't be able to accomplish anything here. Going to go down and grab that Nexus.
Well, I still can't get over the last game, but alright, I'm gonna try. We have the Nexus first here for first. I hate this name, by the way. It's so annoying.
Well, yeah, it's one of those silly names.
There's always a first. Trying to get that hatch now up, but this time we have a much better probes block than we had when Rain was playing against hyvaa. He's a little bit more annoying here, and he actually could still try to block that with a pylon, you know, a couple of additional seconds, and here we go. Now he could drop it if he wants to.
Oh!
Nice, gets it again.
He actually could drop a pylon now that he has.
Yep. He went for the own pylon in his own base, I think, so there we go.
That was close. He still almost blocked it one more time. Now we have the pylon is, or rather the Forge is finishing up here. The gateway is a little bit late. He goes cannon first, as he's concerned about the Zerglings. A smart choice here in this case. The rush distance on Newkirk is not very far, and he saw the pool timing. The Lings are actually chasing the probe down, which is exactly what First wants. He wants to buy enough time for the cannon to finish.
Yeah, he gets the probe here, and of course also this is really important for him to deny scouting information, and the third base has not been scouted. So here comes the probe, getting that at 4 and 15.
Sends a probe to the north, and a really unusual spot. Do you suppose he'll hide tech there? It doesn't look like it. He may just be trying to get an alternate path to check the third base, but...
I think he's actually gonna most likely drop a pylon and confirm that there's a third base.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Lings are already waiting for him in the exact same approach location. Or no, actually they're going for the cooling tower.
They should be able to spot that probe though.
Yeah.
I think the probe's probably just gonna walk right into them.
The cooling tower? Or?
Not quite. Yep, there we go.
Oh, if the cooling tower kills the probe.
That would be cool. No, it's not going to happen, but he sees it. And immediately the Zerglings are moving in there. Sends another Zergling over there to finish the job at the tower.
Now, that means Zealot run-bys are not going to be as big of a problem. Or, for example, a 4-gate with +1 off 2 base. You know, he might approach from that angle if there was a pylon there. So the cooling tower being killed going to give him a little bit of extra flexibility.
So far we have, once again, more than normal opening for both players. Kind of the same style that we saw in the last game when Rain faced hyvaa. And Rain, of course, now really having his fingers crossed for hyvaa, hoping that the Zerg player is going to take this series so that he can not only go home, but also advance to the round of 8.
Stalker Chrono here wants to just get a little bit of pressure done with the Zealot and Stalker. No Mothership Core. Totally cutting that out of the build, which is a lot of Protoss players, professional players in Korea will actually do that when they go for a Forge fast expand, because for them it seems redundant to have the cannon set up and the wall and the Mothership Core. It's just 100 gas they don't want to spend. They'd rather get +1 like we see First getting right now.
Zealot and Stalker moving out. He knows that so far there is no speed just yet. We are actually already 6 and 40, so we should see the Lerte coming up quite soon. Doesn't have the gas yet, though.
He looks like he's going to go for a fast third. He chases away the Lings. And yeah, you're right. The Zealot is harassing a little bit at the third base of hyvaa right now. And look at it more closely so we don't have it on screen. Does not kill the Queen. Doesn't kill anything. In fact, really nice micro from hyvaa. So that Zealot's still over there, but not going to kill anything.
Well, here comes the speed, but his tech is really a little bit more delayed than usual, and especially more delayed than it was in the last game. The Overlord gets into the main base right now. The Zealot here is not going to escape those links. And we actually have the Roach run fairly early, and I mentioned it on Belgium Vestige that a lot of Zerg players try to be very, very aggressive with links and Hydralisks, sorry, not Hydralisks, but Roaches. And that's something that you can also do on Newkirk, because the third base is kind of exposed. It's a little bit tricky sometimes later on because there are several choke points, but if you actually can walk in there, the wall is pretty cool though.
It's tight,
to say.
Like tight in the sense that the Zerglings can't get in, but tight doesn't. Like that's pretty tight, that wall.
And there's already the lair tech, so let's see what he can do with those Roaches. If he is going to be aggressive, could also just get them as a bit of a precaution. And look at those gateways.
So many gateways. And we actually could see just a timing with these gates off of 3 base. I don't think so, because normally you do that with +2 and blink a little bit later.
That's a massive amount of gateways though.
It's a lot. It's just because he cuts so many out. This is a super greedy, risky build that we're seeing from first here. And he is sending across the map right now. It looks like his Mothership Core just checking to see if any aggression is coming his way.
Zerglings are already there to have a bit of an attack into the main base. He has one path that he can choose here, and we have the Roaches, so he could move in from 2 directions and try to sneak those Zerglings into the main. And now he's trying to move in. Will that sentry drop the force field though? And yes, it does. But actually, no, it doesn't take down the sentry yet.
Yeah, the Lings are still there. Always a threat. First, he's going to have to keep this in mind.
And talking about Zerglings, 22 additional ones are currently being produced.
Infestation Pit, I think we're going to see Swarmhost again, just simply because he did last game.
Yeah. No, we can really do this in a map like this. It's very easy to get towards your opponent, and there comes the additional hatch now for production to get the lava.
The one thing I find weird if he's going for Swarmhost, though, is the +1 melee for the Zerglings. He gets the Carapace now as well. Do you think that's a mistake, or do you think that's planned for later? Well, you think he goes for Fast Hive and Ultras as well with this, I guess.
Yeah, he could go into the Ultralist tech, that's definitely true, and it would also help if he wants to go into Brutal Composition later, but usually we see the Faster Hive for this, so I don't think that he's going to Swarmhost. We've seen Swarmhost a lot, players like TLO get Swarmhost on this map like all the time, but in this scenario I think we will see the Fast Hive, especially since we now have a massive amount of Spine
Crawlers here. He knows the push is coming.
There it is, Locusts.
May have been a split decision by him to do this, but regardless, there's a lot of links to buy time, and time is what he needs. He's not going to have enough Swarmhosts out.
Against such a push, the Swarmhosts are actually pretty good, but not if you only have one of them, and he cancelled the Locust upgrade.
Yeah, I think he's having some indecision here.
He doesn't really know what he's up against, I feel. He doesn't know how dangerous that's going to be, how much First is going to commit. And First is actually going to commit quite a bit. He has so many gateways, and the armor upgrade is just now kicking in. He's not waiting for the blink upgrade just yet, but decent force build so far. Force builds out a fair amount of units here. Yeah, drops a lot of force fields there.
He uses a lot of his energy. He's only going to be able to do that maybe 2 more times, and once that's done, then no more force fields. Only one Swarmhost. It's very cute.
Lone Swarmhost here. Maybe trying to fake his opponent out, I don't know.
Another force field baited here. Hive has to be so careful. He needs those Roaches. He has +1 for his Lings, but the Roaches only having the Carapace upgrade, but it's not done yet even.
+2 has been started. So you can really see that First can just recall anytime he wants. And he's preventing Hiva also from getting a 4th base.
This is a great position in this game for First. And now we have the Locust upgrade again. Yeah. I think he canceled because he was like, I can't get these out in time. I need these resources for something else right now. Yeah. And then he's still planned on going back into that.
No, I agree. He probably thought that there would be a massive commitment, and then he realized, okay, well, you have a lot of units there, and it's definitely scary, but you will most likely not take me down if I show you that I have units to defend. All those Roaches are actually going to be in a really tough spot. He needs to split those. This is exactly what he does. Oh, he's trying to just aim for the 4th. He actually
Insta-cancel.
That's a cancel. Can he run away from that army, though?
I don't think so. Blink is going to finish, too. It's going to help him chase.
There's a lot of units for the Zerg player.
Yeah, he doesn't want to blink on those, because that would be a disaster. He doesn't have enough Stalkers for that.
+2 started for the Zerg player, but nearly already done for First. And once again, he's focusing on the melee units.
Yeah.
Which right now does not make the most sense if he really wants to commit to Swarmhost. It looks really like this is just a transition for him to go into Hive and the Neutralists.
Yeah, this Zealot is actually going to be killed, and there's no Sentry Warp in. Gets in the main base, there's a supply block for First. Goes for the Robotics.
Yeah, he actually can snipe that. There's no way to save the Robotics, maybe with like perfect force fields, but he doesn't have enough sentries there. Robotics goes down.
He has a second one, but...
Has the second one, that's definitely true.
Oh, these Roaches need to just trade as best they can now. There's nowhere to run.
Yeah.
This all buys time, though, for him to get those very important Swarmhosts out and take another base.
Still in the main base at the bottom left, he's doing damage over there.
Yeah, just a little bit, but everything counts.
And there comes the first Colossus and also range, but as long as we don't have any anti-air, he can use those swarm hosts to be very aggressive towards the third base of the Protoss player and also save himself his own fourth. He's putting those spine crawlers now in a bit of a more forward position, and the swarm hosts are gonna follow in just a few seconds here.
Yeah. Zealot run by here, gonna be thwarted. The Queen may go down though. Yep, she does. Oops.
Yeah, but here we
Spine
go.
crawlers here need some support. Here come the Locusts.
Double Spire has been started. Wolf. He goes into double Spire for double upgrades. We will most likely see a heavy commitment to
Brood
Mutalisks.
Lords. Or Mutalisks, you think?
Without the Hive tech, I would say that he might be just going for the Mutalisks.
I thought he started Hive already.
It's not really the transition that the transition you would feel is going on, but with this army that he has, he can play very defensive, and without Hive, I just don't see a need to go right away for the double Spire. You would either go for one Spire and then get the Hive tech at the same time.
For some reason, I was already the impression he already had a Hive.
I mean, we could go for the Corruptors too, but why then the double Spire if you don't want to commit to upgrades? Or it's a mistake. Or it's like an autopilot thing.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, here come the Swarmhost Burrowed, now in range of that Nexus. And they're going to continue to pick away at it. If he can deny the fourth base for first again, that would be ideal.
I actually think it's more a mistake. I cannot see him like really committing to Mutalisks right now. It would be a crazy transition, but like, does he have this many resources even with 4 bases?
The Locusts are really starting to pick away at first army.
They're talking about picking away at the bottom right. We still have the Protoss player with a warp in the main base of the Zerg player.
Main base is under attack. Well, this base should be defended by the cannons.
Main base of Hive. A little bit too late here.
Not a ton of damage done, it looks like, though. Cannons here should be able to easily thwart the rest of this. He has killed only 9 mortars first.
Well, here we go. Both of
Corruptors
them are maxed out. We have both of them at a 200 supply.
Zealot drop again, but there are roaches this time.
Yeah.
And a Spore Crawler, a little bit too late.
Yeah,
nice wave of Locusts.
Locust actually going
wrong
in the
direction. Wrong direction here.
Comes the +1 attack upgrade.
Uh-oh. These Swarmos are unburrowed too, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they have to move away. If there's an observer, they will go down, so they have to abandon the base. He moves back with the Locust, but not in time to save the base or do damage. +3/+3 is now about to be completed for first, actually. Another warp in the main base.
Yeah, another warp in here. Warp Prism doing a lot for him in this game. He's getting the Templar Archives now. +3 armor is nearly complete. He has had +3 attack for a really long time. Big problem with no Hive tech for Hive, just not able to get those upgrades out.
First is on 4 bases against 3. Here comes the Hive tech now for Hive. Storm is also being reduced, and another 6 gateways. He's going up to, I think, 14 in total, or 15 at this point.
18.
18.
Even more than you thought.
Huh? And still no 4th. He's getting the 4th right now, Hiva that is, but he's in a little bit of trouble. He has more supply than his opponent, but the tech is incredible for first, and also the bank that he starts to build.
The Locusts were never really able to do the damage he wanted them to do, and he doesn't have the range upgrade for him. He doesn't have any range upgrade, and that's part of the problem. They're not able to do as much as he would like them to.
He finds the pylon and takes that out, so at least nothing more. Oh, bit of a fake here with those, that's a lot of hallucinations that he has there.
I think he kind of wants to get rid of his sentries maybe, and also this is a good way for him to get a lot of information.
Could have actually seen him just attack with this and trying to tank as much of the damage of those Colossi that he can.
Yeah.
Did he really sacrifice those sentries? He didn't, right?
He didn't. I don't. To be honest, I don't fully understand what he just did there. I think it was just an aggressive scout because one Phoenix would die basically instantly. And the Swarm Host count right now is at 15. He's kind of not really touched that for a while. He needs to rally these Locusts. Another drop in the main base. The Spore Crawler is being removed at the wrong time.
Yeah, the Spore Crawler is not going to do too much here, but the Locust actually doing a little bit of damage. Maybe they can take down a couple of units here. +3/+3 has been started still for melee units. It's only for Zerglings. It's a little bit odd.
Here come the Roaches. The Mothership Core is targeted. It's gone, and there's a lot of Corruptors here with the Locust support.
The Corruptors take down all of those Colossi, and even with the Archons at the bottom, he can't do too much. 50 Zerglings are being built, and that's when those upgrades are going to kick in. Without the Colossi, he can actually do a lot of damage to the ground army.
The Locust coming, he wants to blink to chase the Corruptors, but now he has to turn around. That Archon is not long for this world. The same with the second one. First pulling a rain here, tossing Archon's away, but the blink is good on the Swarm Host. There's nowhere to run, the force fields are here.
The Zerglings are running in, but they are a little bit too late to the party here. And suddenly Hiva is down to 130 supply against a 200 supply army of first.
He just had those 18 gateways, you know?
Bottom right, another warp in the main base. Zealots everywhere, taking down the economy. It looks like Hiva is out of luck. Rain is looking at this. He's not too happy about this either. A 50 supply lead for first. He still has a bank, and it looks like the Protoss player might be able to force us into another three-way tie. This is exactly what he needed, this win on this map.
Certainly. And just first is just tearing him a new one right now. He doesn't have any money left. He doesn't have a bank. He doesn't have larva. He has 3 upgrades which aren't going to do anything. GG. And we will have a second tiebreaker.
Yeah, we are going into the second tiebreaker. First takes the game against hyvaa. So it all starts anew with another PvP coming up next.
Yeah.
With Rain versus First.
And you guys will probably get an update on what the maps are going to be exactly during the break. It'll probably be on screen. I can't promise that, but that's what I expect because that's the way I'm going to find out what the maps are.
Do we have a break?
I think so.
Probably do.
You know, it's possible we don't.
Probably get an update about that very soon. hyvaa losing that match.
Yeah, you know, it's really a rough match to lose, especially after his insane win against Rain just before.
I'm still a little bit surprised about that 3-3 commitment for Zerglings and nothing else.
I think he wanted to go into Ultras, but he just never had the time to figure it out. But usually you start the Ultras cavern before 3-3, I guess, in that particular case.
Yeah, and also the Hive take in general. Like
a lot faster. He seemed to have like a little bit of shakiness with what he was doing from the first place. He had to keep canceling and stuff like this with his Swarm hosts.
There are the tiebreaker results. First losing the first match, winning the last. And this crazy game between hyvaa in this particular overview, which is a little bit weird. It was, of course, Rain. hyvaa did not battle himself. It looked like Rain beat himself, not hyvaa, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be a really long and exciting night where we just keep watching these guys battle each other until one person finally is able to win twice and end this for us.
So we have another break, and when we come back, we'll have tiebreaker number 2. See you guys in a few here at the WCS Premier League, covered by GOMTV.